love acting, but most of all, I love stand-up comedy, especially when it's performed by the next gentleman I'm about to present. He's been a dear friend for many years. We've shared stages all over together, and my face just lights up when I get to see him again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Norm Crosby.
Thank you so much. Isn't that nice? I cannot tell you, to walk on a stage in a semi-circumvented auditorium, and with all the excitement and the soliciting and the mastication that goes on every year at this alumni meeting, and all the incredible talent that has been on this stage, and I walk out here and God bless you, you could still come up with that kind of an ovulation. Isn't that nice? It's a tribute to you, it is. Take a moment to look bisexually around this theater. New Yorkers. I grew up in Boston, but I'm sure you know, I was adopted. I was adopted by the New York alumni, and I didn't say anything, I didn't make any trouble, I didn't go to the police, I was adopted. So I still root for the Red Sox, and my favorite teams are the Red Sox and any team that beats the Yankees. No, I'm kidding, but I tell you something, honestly. Sitting here and watching the show, I was so proud of my fellow comedians. I was so proud to watch the incredible laughter that they created in this room, because right now we need to laugh. We really need to laugh. It's therapy. When you think about what's going on in our world, all the lust and the carnage and the filth and the humping that's happening, we need to laugh. We need to escape this craziness. I mean, our country's at war. The market is making people crazy. The economy is absurd. Ford Motor Company is building a new car with people with limited incomes. It's going to have an airbag, but you have to blow it up yourself. I'm serious. It's disgusting. And my wife, God bless her, my Joni, said to me one day, what makes the market go up and down like that? I said, commodity fluctuations, inflationary pressures, financial instability, political tensions. She said, Norman, if you don't know, just say so. It affects people. It's got to affect people. My next door neighbors were sitting watching TV one night, and the guy put his arm around his wife, and he was touching her and grabbing her and pinching her and feeling her, and he put his hand down a dress and up a dress, and she was getting so excited. She said, honey, do you want to go upstairs? He said, no, it's okay. I found the remote. That's not funny. It's terrible what's happening. Divorces are rampant because of the pressure, the tension. A woman went to a judge in Beverly Hills, and she told the judge she wanted a divorce because her husband hadn't spoken to her in 6 years. And the judge said, is that true, sir? And the man said, yes. And the judge said, can you tell me why you haven't spoken to your wife in 6 years? And the man said, I didn't want to interrupt her. That's not funny. I can tell you this, I would not embarrass the ladies for a moment, especially Melissa's mother is here. A woman asked for a divorce, and she told the judge, she said, every time my husband has an organism, he lets out. The judge said, so what is your problem? She said, it wakes me up. I mean it. It's terrible. And you know what? When you think about all of you who went to high school, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and you come here and you go into the schoolyard and you see people that you went to high school with. You probably didn't even talk to them then. But now you meet and you hug and you kiss, but you don't talk to each other now. And then when you hug and you kiss and you shake hands and you show the baby pictures and the grandchildren, and then when you say goodbye, you say, see you next year. That's great, because you don't have to clutter up your head with people that don't mean nothing to you. It's true. Here you say hello, you be wonderful, then you go home, forget about those people. I'm telling you, when they develop the pictures, they cut you out from. Age is not a negative. Young people today, they think anybody over 35 has no brains. Age is not a negative. Age gives you. It gives you experience. It gives you seniority, and it gives you irregularity. It gives you. My grandfather was the smartest man I ever knew. My grandfather came to America with holes in his shoes, with torn pants, with a ripped shirt, with faith and hope and ambition, carrying an old bandana handkerchief wrapped around $680,000 in cash. Age gives you wisdom. I was driving on, if you go to Florida, everybody knows I-95 is the main thoroughfare in Florida. No matter where you go, from city to city, you have to go on I-95. I was driving on I-95 and I ran out of gas. I got off a ramp and I went and I got gas, and I couldn't find the ramp to get back onto 95. I drove around for a little while. Finally, there was a little old man standing on the corner. I said, excuse me, how do you get to 95? He said, don't eat meat. Age gives you cleverness. An elderly man living in Los Angeles called his son in New York. He said, George, I'm leaving your mother. I'm getting older. I don't have much longer. I want to spend the rest of my life in peace and quiet. I don't want to hear any more fights, any more nagging, any more aggravation. I just wanted you to know. And he hung up. The son immediately called his sister, who lived in New Jersey. 2 minutes later, the sister called the father. She said, Dad, George and I are flying out tomorrow. I want you to promise me you won't do anything till we sit down and talk. We'll talk this over and we'll straighten out everything. Please, promise me. The father said, okay. The father hung up the phone. He called to his wife, Helen, the kids are coming out for your birthday. Smart. Business, people become obsessed by business. Even elderly people, they can't forget because they think they're still fighting to make a living. They're retired sometimes, and they still think business. An elderly man moved into a senior citizen's home on Fairfax. The first day he was there, he hung a sign on the door, great sex, inquire within. And a little old lady knocked on the door. She said, what is that all about? And the man said, it's business, lady. I'm a businessman. $20, you come in my bedroom, $15 on the couch, $5 on the floor. And the woman said, really? And she opened a little purse and she gave him $20. The man said, all right, come into the bedroom. She said, no, no, businessman, that's for 4 times on the floor. Elderly people think, they care, they medicate, they ponder. Young people, everything is taken for granted. Do you know that there is more money being spent today for breast implants and Viagra than for Alzheimer's research? Do you realize what that means? It means by the year 2040, there will be a large elderly population with big boobs and huge erections who will have absolutely no idea what to do with them. That's not right. That's not right. There's craziness going on. Same-sex marriages, some states say it's okay, some states don't want it. And they're driving people crazy because they don't know where to move. At the Beverly Hills Hotel, you must have read about it, 2 weeks ago, 2 antennas got married. antennas. The wedding was, okay, but the reception was awesome. I just came in last night, really, from Atlantic City, and I worked with a couple of your favorite comedians, Stewie Stone and Dick Capri. The three of us, we did a show. It was wonderful. I'll tell them you clapped. But it was great. And I tell you, Atlantic City, I'm sure you know, the oldest people in the world go to Atlantic City. I saw a man walking on the boardwalk with his widow. And every day, the three of us took a walk, Stewie and Dick and I, and we'd sit down on the benches, on the boardwalk. And we sat down behind two little old men one day, and one of them turned to the other one. We heard him. He said, "I'll bet you that I could tell you how old you are and when is your birthday." The other man said, "Go ahead." He said, "Open up your pants." The man opened his pants. The fella reached in. He was touching and holding, and grabbing, and squishing, and pulling, and tugging, and yanking, and banging. And finally, he sat back. He said, "Okay, you're 94 years old, and your birthday is April 17th. And the man said, "My God, that's right. That's absolutely right. How did you know that?" The other man said, "You told me yesterday." Well, thank you so much. We're running late. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen,